few seconds here. So, by the way, bro, I saw that picture. You got that 6-pack. I'm kind of jealous, man. You're shredded, bro. That's incredible.
Definitely. That's not
shredded. All right, we are live.
I'm shredded. I'm getting too old to be shredded. I want to live life.
All right. Well, okay. Hey, I think we are live on Facebook. Let me just double check here. I'm not sure if you can check, Demetrius, on your end, if we got a notification. Anyone that's on right now, please hop off. That shouldn't be on, please. This is only for, okay, there we go. Remove. All right, perfect. Okay, let me see if we are on.
We are.
We are?
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. Well, let's, Demetrius, why don't you make the introduction, brother? And then I'm going to send a text message to make sure everyone's on.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome, everybody. We are streaming live in the 100% Epic page. We want to thank everybody for hopping on, and we want to thank our very special guest, Franco Cavaleri, who is a world-renowned formulator who brought to the table our Be Immune Plus product and also the Regener8 product, which we have fallen in love with. So today we wanted to do just a more educational type of video to get direct knowledge from Mr. Franco, the formulator of that product, regarding the power of that product so that you guys can get more excited about it. I love it. In fact, I'm drinking it right now, Franco. I think it tastes great. I drink it morning and nighttime. I drink it cold. I drink it hot. I drink it however I can get it. And I'll tell you, it's kind of addicting. My skin feels great. The anti-inflammatory properties are amazing. I feel younger. I'm 42 years old, and I really feel like I'm younger ever since taking this product when it launched a couple months ago. So, thank you again for your time, for hopping on and giving us a more of an in-depth description of why this product is, I believe, one of the most important products that we all should be taking. And I believe this could be our very #1 product in the world. This could be a $1 billion product in itself. But we'd love to have you tell our audience why Regener8, where it came from, and how important it really is for us to be taking it.
Well, anyways, first I want to just say thank you so much for the accolades. I think you guys are an amazing group to work with. There's a lot of enthusiasm, and the channel and distribution potential you guys represent is fantastic. And for me, I look at that as an opportunity to be able to share a lot of the research we do. But, I think before I go into the product specifically, maybe I'll spend about a minute to discuss, what we do here at our laboratory, which is very different than typical formulation. We do drug research, and the drug research actually dives down into the cell, into our cells and tissues to determine exactly how these compounds affect the behavior of the cell at the genomic and proteomic level. What that means is, like, we have environmental stimuli that will affect your cells, and in response to that, our genes send out signals, proteomic signals that affect cell behavior. And this cell behavior, what it means is it generates either an inflammatory response, a behavioral change in the cell. Sometimes those changes result in, a pathology of a disease. Inflammation is a primary factor of all disease. And so what we've been able to accomplish in our research and where we have focused is to try to mitigate the inflammatory response, because inflammation is central to every single disease that we're trying to treat. So it doesn't mean that we're able to treat every disease, but some of them we were able to relieve symptoms completely, and others we're able to take the edge off. But if we can actually help control the inflammatory response in the body, that tends to escalate with age, no matter what you do. And it may not mean that you have a specific disease indication, as this subclinical inflammation enhances or it expands with age. But what it does is it begins to age the body. It chips away at your cells, your body, your skin. And so by providing this countermeasure, we then age at a better rate. We're able to cope with physical work. I mean, when you were 20 years old, you'd engage in a bike ride, your workout, and you could recover in a day. I'm 54. It might take 2 days, but if I'm not using these systems, it takes me 4 days. And I got to tell you, like, not to throw in, ego, but I'm 54 and I feel and probably act and perform in all physical aspects like a 25-year-old. And 90% of that is involves mitigating that inflammatory response that tends to escalate and is exacerbated with age. You bring it back to your 20-year-old youth level, and your body responds more youthfully. So why is this product different? The central component driving the pharmacology of this product is that curcuminoid, the bio-BDMC. And as I said before, we are not just formulating products and throwing curcumin in the mix. What we do here at Biologic is we study each of the constituents in the herb, the curcumin. Now, curcuminoids, the curcumin itself is made up of multiple curcuminoids. And what we've done is isolated each one and then map the pharmacology of each one to our genome to determine how they affect genomic activity and proteomic activity. We have made various discoveries with a bunch of different herbs, patented these discoveries, and one in particular with regards to our curcuminoid shows that a specific curcuminoid that exists only at about 1 to 2% concentration in regular curcumin, that curcuminoid has the capacity, when taken at proper concentration, to affect inflammation in a much different way than regular curcumin can. So regular curcumin only supplies 1 to 2% of that specific curcuminoid, and it's made up of curcumin 1, curcumin 2, and then curcumin 3 in very small quantities. Curcumin 1 makes up about 70% of that curcumin you normally buy in the store. Whereas now what we've done is escalated this curcumin 3, this smaller component. We've re-engineered the curcumin production so that it's producing this curcumin 3 at minimum 30%. Why 30%? Because the research we do in the lab, the drug research shows you need to get to 30% in order to affect a protein called MSK1 in your cells that regulates and can be dysregulated in diseases like autoimmune conditions, cancers, and things like that. But when this MSK1 is dysregulated, it's overproduced in the cell, it means that inflammation becomes more difficult to control. So what we do is with that curcumin 3, by raising it in our patented technology, raising it beyond what normally exists in curcumin, then we're able to bring MSK1 levels down to the point where now your disease is controllable. When I say disease, aging is a function of inflammatory activity as well. And so if we allow that inflammatory activity to increase with age, then your ability to regulate simple recovery from day-to-day workload actually declines with age. And now we're giving you a countermeasure, which brings you back to youthful activity and helps you recover from training, from inflammatory disease. And, when you talk about Alzheimer's and other dementias and cognitive disorders, those are propagated by the chemistry of inflammation. If we're able to utilize these compounds to help mitigate that inflammatory activity, we begin to take control of our lives. For example, if you were genomically or because of your environment to develop Alzheimer's at age 60, you may, by controlling inflammation, begin to see symptoms at age 85, 90. And at that point, they just call it senility because you've been able to function because of this countermeasure. So these are the kinds of things we're trying to achieve. Regener8 is created based on this philosophy that's proven in the lab to show, like pharmaceutical companies show their drugs work, we show this has functionality, and then we go to the peer-reviewed medical journals and we publish our papers. So now it's not only our laboratory making these discoveries, then we publish the papers in peer-reviewed journals where you have peers in the medical profession reviewing your discoveries to validate them before they get published in the medical journal, so you get to reference them and see them. And then we put these other ingredients in that to create Regener8 with the collagen. So now you have one of the things you got to keep in mind is even when it comes to collagen restoration, which keeps you feeling youthful, looking youthful, if inflammation is escalated, your ability to build bone and collagen actually declines because there's an activity that affects what's called the osteoclast and the osteoblast. These are two cell types that work against each other to break down and demineralize bone, leaving behind collagen or collagen-like tissue. And then you have osteoblasts that build up and mineralize bone. And what happens is that if you have an inflammatory body, this osteoblast activity that's supposed to rebuild begins to break down. It doesn't work well. And the osteoclast activity that's taking things down and remodeling ends up taking over. And then you age faster. You have your bone minerals decline, your collagen begins to break down. And so by regulating inflammation, you're actually supporting the remodeling of bone, remodeling of collagen and skin. When I say remodeling, I mean, every 6 months, you probably replace every molecule in your bone matter to reconstitute it. Your skin between every 2 and 3 weeks. That remodeling is interrupted by inflammation. And what you're doing with Regener8 is allowing those systems to function. If you think about it, this is really cool because we are not necessarily adding activity to your body that has an effect that's mystical. What we're doing is providing a countermeasure to environmental influences that may interfere with your natural capacity to restore and recover tissue. That's what we're doing. We're basically providing a countermeasure. And so the countermeasure is the specific type of collagen you find in this Regener8 that we've chosen, and the anti-inflammatory activity that we're not just saying, hey, let's throw this in here and see how it works. We're testing it in a drug research lab to show how it's functional before we go to market and bring it to people. We know it works. And so that's why you're seeing the results you're seeing. In fact, we recently, with a system similar to this, were approved by Health Canada and similar to your FDA, so it's Health Canada regulatory agency, to do COVID research because we've shown that we can actually mitigate cytokine storm with our BDM technology, which then what it does is those of you or us who are infected and develop the COVID-19 disorder some of us are vulnerable to morbidity and mortality based on our own predisposition. A lot of that has to do with how high that subclinical inflammation is based on other diseases we may have, other predispositions. And so when you're infected, if you have other inflammatory predispositions, the inflammation tends to escalate so high that the body cannot resist and you start to get secondary damage in the body. What we're doing now is we're showing, and we're going into clinical trials that have just been approved based on the preliminary research, that we can lower the cytokine storm phenomenon so that if you get infected, you just experience COVID like the regular flu, you develop antibodies and you move on. And this is what we're trying to demonstrate in the clinical trial. And then we'll have the claim that demonstrate that will allow us to make these claims in the marketplace. But for now, we're seeing that Health Canada has approved us to move forward based on the preliminary results. And it's based on what you guys are using in this formula to mitigate and control inflammation in general. And so, as you know, with Regener8, we've added other ingredients like blueberry because there's cognitive benefits to blueberry with the antioxidants that exist in there. And then we've added, biotin, hyaluronic acid, and ascorbic acid. These are things that are cofactors that are important for collagen regeneration. But that in a nutshell is what you've got in Regener8. The other thing that I think we've done very well here, and I hope that you folks see that, we've been able to create a product that dissolves well and mixes well, considering what we're working with. Like the curcuminoids that we work with are called hydrophobic molecules, meaning they don't like water. So you can't get them to mix very well. But as you know, you can create a nice drink with it, and it tastes good because having something that tastes great, it supports compliance, so people take it every day, and then gain the benefits of this. But I believe, deep down in my heart and my scientific soul that there's a lot of value here that's life changing for people, and we're starting to see the comments and the claims and the experiences by people. We've had claims from people that have serious diseases that are doing extremely well today that we can't really talk too much about because we haven't done the clinical research to demonstrate it. We've had people with cognitive disorders and other things like Tourette syndrome that have shown amelioration by using the curcuminoid product, whether in the capsule or in the Regener8. And there's valid research showing why, because a lot of these diseases are characterized by an inflammatory pathology of different parts of the brain that affect the neurons or the brain in a way that causes hiccups. And so by alleviating that inflammation, you allow, again, this is an interesting concept and I want it to be understood. It's not that we're alleviating inflammation and doing some miraculous thing. We're alleviating the inflammation and allowing the body to do what it does naturally to restore when that inflammatory cloud is no longer an intrusion.
So, real quick, Franco, this is so fascinating. By the way, if you're getting value from this, put a 3 in the comments below, and also tag all your team members, because this is exciting. And, you know, what the product that Franco's talking about is this product Regener8 right here. So it comes in this package right here. And I love the simplicity, right? I mean, you're talking about ingredients that you just mentioned don't mix well with water. And literally it's just powder, like chai tea flavor. You put it in water. Now let me ask you a quick question, Franco. Now, when this came out, like, I've been obsessed with it, and I've also made my parents take it every single day, because I'm like, I just know that what's in it is good, so take it, right? So they've been on every day. Is there a limit where it's too much that you're taking? I mean, sometimes I'm doing 3 to 4 a day for sure, one, right? But like, I love this stuff, man, and it's really good. And I'm 31 years of age. So maybe, like, for me, I don't really have wrinkles or anything, but like, I love the anti-aging effect of it. I love the anti-inflammation. I work out every day, so I like to get good recovery. But is there a limit to the amount that you should be taking, or what's the best way to be taking this product right here?
Well, you know, there are no limits in terms of the toxicology of the product. However, you know, there's no need to really take more than 3 of those a day. I take 2 of those a day.
2 of those a day. Okay. Morning, night, or like, what's your form of taking it? Oops. Did he freeze there? I think Franco froze here for a quick minute. So let's see if we can get him back. There we go. Okay. So morning and night. Yeah. So, I mean, literally every single morning, my routine is I take a glass with this powder in it, glass of water, and then I pop a couple of Immune Plus. So maybe, and I'm good, you know. And the interesting part for me is that and this is no product claims, guys. This is talking about the ingredients that Franco's talking about. I caught the COVID, I think, around December of 2019. And it was horrible. I mean, I had inhalers everywhere, everything, right? So I was like, but back then people didn't call it the COVID. I caught it once again a couple months ago, and I was like scared out of my mind, because I already suffer from like asthma. But the only thing that I did different was that I was taking 2 or 3 capsules of Immune Plus every day. And I was also taking this every single day. And I have to tell you, the only symptom that I felt with the COVID was I was just tired. So I slept for like 5 days, and then I was good. But my coffee didn't flare up, none of that. So it was really fascinating to me. So it's awesome, all the stuff that you're talking about here.
Well, that's great to hear. I mean, I don't like to I can't base what we say and do on anecdotes, although we have tons of them like yours. And I think, you know, when you get, you know, between 100 and 150 anecdotes over the last 2 months, there has to be value and weight on it. So I'm not discounting what you're saying. I'm only now saying it this way so that we're publicly responsible in terms of conveying a claim in science. But, you know, we as a research organization, you know, have to wait now for the clinical trial to be completed before we can make the formal claims. But I'm going to tell you, our preliminary work has demonstrated and has been peer reviewed to show that those very cytokines that are escalated in the COVID condition are the very ones that we are mitigating and inhibiting with our technology. So, you know, there's something there. But again, you know, we're going to wait to be responsible to make the claim later. You folks as individuals who are experiencing stuff, to be able to share your experience, that's amazing, because hopefully people get through, you know, their difficulty. But when it comes from me, then I can get my hand slapped by the regulatory.
Yeah. No. We want to keep Franco safe, guys, you know, but it's just, you know, for me, what are the, you know, because we're obviously a part of a company where people are consuming 18 years and above. For someone that, let's say, is like 22, 23, why would they want to consume this every day?
Well, if you're 22, 23 and you're physically active, I mean, this is, you know, I'll tell you, you know, I'm going to attach that to my personal story. When I was 20, I started utilizing similar technology. And keep in mind, 20, I'm 54 now. So that's like 34 years ago. And this journey on this research started approximately 30 years ago for me, when I was competing as a bodybuilder and looking for things to help me recover faster so that I could train a body part sooner than my competitor would before I see him next year at the next bodybuilding event. And, you know, those were the strategies. And so if you want to recover faster, you know, build better performance than the average person, you need the countermeasure to help control inflammation so you're recovering faster. It's that simple. If you just want to be maintaining your body day to day, you know, you might take a lower dose at 20, 22, 23, and you're going to feel that you're recovering faster. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to also reduce the risk for, you know, oxidative stress that's associated with physical work. We're showing now in the lab that our technology.
Let's see here. One moment. We'll get him back. This is awesome stuff, though, guys. I'm really excited. This is
so good. Franco, if you can hear us, you froze again.
There you go. There you go.
All right, there you go.
So, you know, as I was saying, is that when you take antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, even the curcumin, it will have what they call outside in antioxidant activity. It's going to protect the surface of the cell, your body from the outside in. But here's what's really cool. We've shown that the curcuminoids enhance what's called, it's a transcription factor called NRF2 inside the cell. So it penetrates inside, activates a genomic factor that has your genes. Think about this. This is cool. It instructs your genes to make more antioxidants from the inside out. And these antioxidants inside your cell protect your cell from the inside out, protect your mitochondria, the organelles in the cell. And those antioxidants, you've probably heard of, a couple of them, like glutathione peroxidase, superoxide dismutase, catalase, hemoxygenase. And we've shown that in our lab with various technologies that we're studying, that we can actually spike those levels inside your cells, which means if you're physically active, let's say you're an endurance athlete, you're a bodybuilder, you're a cyclist, a swimmer, when you're performing, you're creating oxidative stress inside the cell, and that contributes to your failure when you're reaching your limits. But by enhancing the endogenous or internal antioxidants, you improve your capacity to perform at whatever sport you're performing at. You improve your capacity to protect your cells from oxidative stress, which ages the body. And so you're preserving cell life and cell tissue and cell performance. It's just it's a great way to live your life, to protect yourself from the environment, which is getting more harsh with oxidative activity and pollution. I think for me at 54, that's been my biggest crutch to lean on. And I tell you again, like, I don't feel a day older than 40. And, I train I train with 13-year-olds and 20-year-olds and on the soccer field and in the gym. And even the 20-year-olds are hard pressed to keep up with me when it comes to cardio and when it comes to lifting. I mean, I'm still pounding heavy weights and staying and trying to stay in shape. And, it's not to show off and not to try and compete against these guys because these are young bucks, but it's just, I'm doing my thing. And it has a lot to do with that preservation of that endogenous antioxidant system so that it stays youthful.
It's incredible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could keep up with you, but we should, we do these little fun competitions when we get together, these soccer competitions. So next time I need you to be on my team, and then then we'll have a shot. But no, that's awesome. Guys, like the air that we breathe, like the foods that we eat. I mean, there's so much inflammation going on. It's crazy. So I consider this a universal product, and what I get excited about is that, I mean, literally, we've got an incredible formulator here, Franco. We've got an incredible owner that have put together such a powerful product that you could put on a shelf, for like $200, and it's a third of the price of that. It's $70 for a full 30-day supply. It's the best that you're going to find in the marketplace, in my personal opinion. I believe that everyone should be consuming this day in and day out. So, Demetrius, I don't know if you have any additional questions. If not, we can end the live.
Just a thought, Franco, and Ricky, thank you for your time as well. And I love this product. It's turned into like my favorite product. I consume it every single day. Question for you, Franco. How is this product helping some people with weight loss or weight management? Because I've had people say they take this and they're losing weight on it, and not saying that we're marketing this as a weight loss product, but why is it that some people will experience that while taking this?
Yeah, it's a clear, there's a clear mechanism. First of all, inflammation does contribute to weight mismanagement. It actually inhibits lipolysis, or your ability to utilize fat and break it down for an energy substrate. But that's not the primary way. We sweeten this product with Glyvia. Glyvia is our patented sweetener. And the cool thing about Glyvia is that it's 0 carb, 0 calorie, and doesn't have an aftertaste like stevia does. But the biggest thing is that it has a pharmacological activity. And that activity is that it's insulinogenic. It actually helps your body clear blood sugar. And so you've probably heard of the term insulin resistance, which is a pre-diabetic state. Some people can develop with age, and because of lifestyle, some people, not all people, because of lifestyle, type 2 diabetes, which is an advanced stage of insulin resistance, where insulin is not working at full capacity. And so with pre-diabetic stages of insulin resistance, what happens is it's very difficult for you to manage fat loss. And as we age, this insulin resistance tends to advance to the point where you might develop type 2 diabetes if other environmental and genetic factors converge with the aging of your insulin function. And so what we've done with Glyvia, we show in our lab that it has insulinogenic activity, like many drugs that are used by type 2 diabetics to help them to compensate for the metabolic dysfunction of the type 2 diabetic state. And so by using Glyvia as a sweetener, we've also supplied you with something that helps clear blood sugar and manage insulin function, which immediately puts you in charge of fat storage and controlling your nutrients so that they don't go to fat storage and then metabolize more efficiently. That's why people are losing weight. And that's why this is kind of like an all-in-one metabolic and inflammatory elixir that helps control many features of the aging process.
Wow, that was awesome. That was awesome. In fact, okay, I'm ordering like 5 more bags after this is over. Honestly,
yeah, we also have Glyvia in its naked state, where people can add it to coffee, tea, things like that, so that if you're using sugar, put it on your pancakes, put it on whatever, and just have a heyday with 0 carbs, 0 calorie, no aftertaste, but helps you control metabolism so you're burning calories.
I'm gonna go drink some right now, dude. Like, and guys, Franco is like just a product of his product, right? Like, I mean, he's being humble, but underneath that white jacket, there's a 6-pack, right? And I mean, the dude's just shredded, and it's just awesome. Now, I appreciate it, Franco. I'm good, Demetrius. If you're good, we can wrap up the live on Facebook, and I'd love to take a few more moments with you, Franco, with me and Demetrius.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm good, Franco. Thank you so much for your time. If you guys got value out of this, tag your friends, tag your teammates, get them on here. This product needs to be shared more. Really, I mean, there's so many people that could benefit from this product. You guys heard the science behind it. You heard why. We're already seeing testimonials, but I do believe that we're sitting on something that could impact and change so many more lives. We just got to spread the word and educate people about it, and just start sharing it with more people. So tag them in here. Franco, thank you again. Ricky, thank you. And thank you guys for watching.
My pleasure. Thanks for getting behind this product and sharing the health benefits with people who need it. Thank you.
All right. We have stopped the Facebook Live, so I think we're good. Wait, actually.